Yo, 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 what up, motherfuckers? What's really good? How y'all doing? Yeah, that's right. It's Shampoo here, and some pretty funny shit happening on YouTube right now that most likely y'all seen. Well, I mean, it's entertaining, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully they're not taking it too seriously and shit, because, you know, I just see it as good entertainment, man. We're talking about 305 and hip hop Nintendo, little deep shit they got going on and shit. But you know, it is what it is and shit, man. It is what it is. But what I want to talk about, this is supposed to be a response video to Nova Phoenix. He made a video probably like 2 days ago. I forgot exactly the title, but I'll just put it up above and shit. And basically, in his video, he was talking about rehashes, and now rehashes, reboots. You know, how he's just kind of tired of them. You know, like, what's the meaning of it? It's just, you know, he's just sick of them. It's just stupid. But in a sense, I understand exactly what he means, and especially in certain entertainment mediums, like movies and shit. So okay, you really don't need to fucking redo this type of movie all over again, or that movie. I completely understand that. But sometimes, even with movies, sometimes they are justified and they need to be done. Okay, now, like I was saying before, you know, I do agree with him partially with some of the stuff that he was saying, without a doubt. And the main thing that he was throwing up was this right here. Tomb Raider, blah hell. Alright. Now, me personally, I think that, I'm not sure if this thing's showing up right on this bitch. But anyways, but me personally, I feel that Tomb Raider definitely needs a reboot. And, you know, I'm gonna kind of explain why here in a little bit. But first, I'm gonna get to a game that doesn't need a reboot, like Devil May Cry. I completely feel him on that shit. Why the hell does DMC need a fucking reboot? What's the purpose of a Devil May Cry reboot? It makes no sense. The games have never gotten to a point when they were just bad or just okay. The Devil May Cry games are pretty good. I mean, shit. Look at okay, DMC 1, beast of a game. Part 2 was the only one out of the series that was like, didn't really care for it. Part 3, awesome. It was badass. Part 4 was a pretty damn good DMC game. You know, some people probably didn't care for it too much or whatever, or they probably thought that, you know, it wasn't good as 3 and stuff, but it was a pretty damn good game. You know, and there's only been 4 of them. It's like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, you got this reboot of this game that hasn't even had a chance to really withstand the test of time. I mean, shit. There's only been 4 of them, and the first one was on the PS2. You know, like, I understand that DMC kind of did lead the action genre, in the sense that games that play like that and God of War and stuff. But me personally, I think God of War took it and fucking ran with it. You know, that's just me. I know they built off of it, but I just think that game, God of War, took it and ran with it. And now I see it as games built off of God of War, that type of shit. But you know, Devil May Cry definitely did kind of like show that genre, like what the fucking deal was, just like Tomb Raider did. Tomb Raider is the game that defined that genre of action adventure games. You know, it's like I was saying in the comments of your videos that, like, Uncharted, you know, a whole bunch of games through the years, then all the way to Uncharted is what you're really seeing from what Tomb Raider started. You know, but the thing is that Tomb Raider has been on a steady decline for a very long time. Part 1 of Tomb Raider, excellent, fucking awesome. Part 2 was was really good. It was a great game. But then after that, steadily, they just slowly got worse and worse. And that Tomb Raider on fucking PS2, I think it was called Angel of Darkness or something, was fucking horrible. God, that game sucked. But the last two Tomb Raiders to come out on the current gen consoles actually were a pretty solid attempt to bring back the game. But the problem is the problems that that Tomb Raider has always had. The character doesn't really have any life to her. There's no real depth to the character whatsoever. It's like they just took part 3 and 4 and part 2 and shit, and they just like made it look pretty. They didn't make it seem like it was placed in some type of form of reality. And when you look at games nowadays, and this is the one main reason why I think it needs a reboot, is that when you look at games nowadays, they're more centered on realism. Anything that you play, from the characters to anything. And also the other main reason, which I probably already covered this, is because Tomb Raider defined that genre. So as a fan of Tomb Raider, I really do believe that it needs it, because its rightful place is to be up there, is to be where Uncharted is. And then also for Crystal Dynamics, Tomb Raider and Lara Croft is their baby. That is their fucking baby. You know, they, you know, you think of them or you think of Tomb Raider, I mean, that's what they're known for. You know, they're known for this character and that game. It's their most popular fucking franchise, period. So, so you know, when they see that their beloved franchise has gone down from it being the series that defined the genre, they're like, okay, hold on a second. We have to do something about this. And that's why I believe that it's justified that they're doing it. Sometimes reboots don't work, but sometimes they do work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they do. And this one, from especially after reading the article that was in this shit, it seems like this reboot is definitely gonna work. I highly recommend anybody reading the Tomb Raider article that's in the latest Game Informer magazine, because if what I read in there is really what they're doing, the game is going to be extremely fucking impressive, and it looks fucking amazing. The screenshots are fucking just like, wow, like, it looks really damn good. And then on top of that, like, I don't know, the game just looks fucking gorgeous. And you know, they made her like more like a real actual person. You know, she's not invulnerable anymore. You know, she still looks attractive and stuff for a video game character and shit, but it's not like she's some like this model up there just jumping around doing all this shit. She has more of a sense of character to her. She has more depth to her character. She's more vulnerable now and stuff like that. And this one actually seems like it's going to be taking place even before the original Tomb Raider. It's taking place like when she gets out of college, and right out of college she goes on like this expedition with someone, this professor or archaeologist, some shit like that, I think. And pretty much they talk in the article. It's a pretty long spread. They talk about the beginning gameplay of the game, and what they talk about seems fucking, it's just sick. And what I love about it is that they're making it dark. You know, Uncharted is an action-adventure game, but it has a lot of comedy in it. With Tomb Raider, with this, they need to make it dark. You know, having a comedy type feel and stuff like that with Tomb Raider, me personally, I just don't think it would work. But what they're doing with it, they're kind of making it kind of like Dark Knight. They're making it dark and making it serious. It's gonna work out, and it really does look like it's really gonna fucking work out. It looks impressive, man. Especially after reading the whole article, the game just looks dope. It really does, and I hope that they do pull it off, man, because Tomb Raider deserves to be that top tier type of game. It really does. I've been a fan of it forever, and throughout the years, I've always said that Tomb Raider needs to have a reboot. It needs to have it, and it's finally getting it, and it looks like it's actually going to pay off and be great. and I really can't wait for that. But I mean, that's kind of my rant on the whole thing. I do know what you're saying, Phoenix. Sometimes reboots just don't need to happen. Sometimes you get a little tired of them, but sometimes they are really justified. And Tomb Raider is a justifiable remake, a reboot that needs to happen, mainly because of its past and its status in gaming. If it didn't have that status, I'll even say Devil May Cry. I mean, yeah, it did. I kind of went over this before, but yeah, it did kind of define that type of genre that it was in. But at the same time, DMC didn't crash. It was never shit. Tomb Raider did crash. It was shit. But at the same time, it did define a genre. So definitely it needs to be rebooted. If Tomb Raider didn't really define a genre, then I would say, yeah, no, it doesn't need a reboot whatsoever. It really doesn't need it. But since it did, I think it does, man, without a doubt. But anyways, that's it for my rant. I'll holler at y'all later, man. I don't know, I might watch something. It's like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning and shit. Actually might finish up these character models I've been doing. I've been working on this new idea and shit, drawing some things, some character ideas, stuff like that. So, the fuck? Well, anyways. But I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out. Deuces, motherfuckers. Get off my dick.